Hello traders, welcome. Another quick Bitcoin update for you today, and I'm also just going to pop into the Ethereum chart because both of which are at some very interesting support at the moment, and I think this could be a really good point in which to be starting to look for those long positions again. So yeah, we've had a big move down. Okay, we've had a really big move down. We've reached that 93,600 target, which is what I wanted to see. That was my next take profit, and that was my main target. This is the line in the sand. This cluster of support that we see down here, around about that 93,600, is the line in the sand that I don't want to see being broken. Otherwise, we are looking at low 80Ks. But we are at support here, and if we are just looking at this as a range, we have had consistent support since breaking this 93 zone. We found support, support. Yes, okay, every time you test support, the chances are it's going to be less likely to hold and it could break down, but it is support until it's proven otherwise. So now looks a good opportunity for longs. Okay, I have started scaling into a long, and basically invalidation will be if we do start to drop below those previous lows, other than it being an SFP or something like that, if we do start to see further aggression. But we're not seeing aggression at this stage. Okay, during the move down, we are starting to build some local divergences at the lows, and volume is tapering off. Open interest is dropping. It's not a move that is showing any real aggression. And we have seen this on previous lows as well. What happened at the end of last year? Okay, that sustained move down, that we then put in this low, and as we came down towards those lows, all right, volume just tapering off there before getting a reversal. I think we could see something similar to that happening again here. What we also have, which is quite interesting, is a lot of spot buying. Okay, so you can see the spot CVD since we put in this low yesterday has been increasing. Okay, there is certainly a big bid in this zone, and what that signals to me really is that, okay, price had a rally at the beginning of the year. A lot of people would not have been participating in that rally at the beginning of the year. A lot of the big money would not have been participating in that rally at the beginning of the year. So what has happened is price has come back down to that point to allow people to get into Bitcoin, right? So it's not looking too bad. All right, I was kind of bearish yesterday. Well, I was still looking for more downside yesterday. And I still think, okay, if this zone does break, it starts to look really bad because, yes, there is buying in this area. And if that fails, then you're going to have people underwater, obviously. And then we are starting to look at those much lower targets. Okay, just a reminder of where those are is basically we have confluence down between 82 to 84. Okay, we've got the fibs lining up there. We've also got the 1-to-1 down there. And it starts to take out these lows down here and come back into imbalance. But other than that, yeah, it is still a range, and I am thinking that this has a good opportunity to hold. The other thing that we've done is filled a gap. All right, there was this little gap down here, CME gap, and that has been filled and traded through. Okay, so that's all been cleaned up. Yeah, and then if we just look on these lower time frames again here, maybe add the TPO, then there is a lot of imbalance like above for this to correct. Okay, we had a pretty good day yesterday where price was just chopping around, and then a nice sell-off. As we got that sell-off, I was like, okay, that looks like it's a pretty decent low. But what we often see, and we've seen this on a number of occasions when we put in a low and had a good reaction, is you come all the way back down to it, and you put in like some kind of double bottom before getting a decent reversal. So what I'd like to see today is for this area to hold and for price to reverse, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe even next week if price just holds over here over the weekend. And yeah, then we can be looking back towards filling in some of the gaps that we have left behind from the move down. Ethereum also looking really interesting and actually looking a little bit stronger here. So Ethereum, once again, it came up, very simple, took local highs, right, all the way up, took local highs into imbalance, rejected, and now we've taken all of the internal lows. So all of those internal lows have gone, but we are still holding this daily, this 4-hour gap. Once again, this I would consider as support. It's held as support, 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 support. And we're around about that POC. So very similar to what we've seen on Bitcoin is over the Christmas period, okay, people would not have been trading. Price gets a rally, gets anyone who was looking at the charts or anyone who was long over Christmas some profit, comes back down to that level, and then we get a second opportunity to enter with maybe a bit more size on this occasion. And it's very similar to what we saw last year. Okay, last year was the same thing. Go back to the beginning of the year in 2024. Where was it? Okay, you had a rally to start the year. It sold off. And then, okay, we did sell off a little bit more afterwards, but we got a rally and then a sell-off. And it has been consistent. It's just typical beginning of the year stuff as traders start to come back. Price just remaining range-bound until we start to see some real volume here. And the volume is starting to come back in. So that's my analysis. That's all I really have to say on this. I like the support we're at, but I don't want to see it broken. So I'm happy to be bidding here. I'm happy to be long. If we lose this support, then we're looking to the low 80Ks. And if that happens, then I think it's going to be prolonged. And I think we maybe go down to 70s and 60s and those kind of things. I would not be looking for a reaction at 85 like a lot of people are looking for. I think we'll probably end up trading through all of that. And yeah, that's kind of that. So let's hope the support holds. I mean, let's not hope. I'm short. So if it goes lower, then fair play. But yeah, it looks like a good dip to be buying. Typical beginning of the year stuff. No need to panic. Good longs here. So, yep. Thank you. Bye-bye.